Serious, what secret could destroy your life if it got out?
Deleted. I'm a guy with a foot fetish. And I never told my wife even though she has amazing feet. But it gets worse, I have a weird twist to my foot fetish. I'm really into pedal pumping, I guess that's the closest way to describe it, and I'm mortified to tell her or anyone else, and never have. When I was a little kid we spent a lot of time at church during the week for mom's choir practice, and there was a decent looking piano player lady who would kick off her shoes and play the piano barefoot. And even though I knew nothing of my sexuality, I remember Saturday afternoons, being up on the stage/pulpit during boring choir practice, laying on the carpet, playing with matchbox cars and trying not to make it seem glaringly obvious that I was transfixed watching this lady's barefoot pushing on that piano pedal. I remember having a raging hard-on even back then, but more annoyed with it than anything else, and wishing so much that I was that piano pedal, on the floor, her amazing foot pushing and pumping me. I was totally transfixed, and it continues to this day. Women playing pianos, organs, driving barefoot, using a sewing machine barefoot. My fantasies usually always involve me imagining myself as the pedal, and the woman has a sexy bare, nylon, or sock-clad foot. If it's a smelly foot, even better. I feel guilty and stupid to this day. Why on earth would a fetish like that develop when I was a prepubescent kid? TLDR greater than I have a pedal pumping foot fetish I've never told my wife, or anyone, about. I have another kid my whole family doesn't know exists. I had a 2-year-long drug-induced psychotic episode where I thought God was talking to me on a daily basis through numbers. I seem like a completely normal, well-put-together, successful person. I snapped out of it recently. I don't want everyone to think I'm crazy or need help. I figured things out on my own. That I want to see my mother die. I love her to death, but she is such a cunt to her family, her friends, and to society in general, and I can't stand it. She is almost to the point of abusive to her family. Calling all of us retarded, wish she did not even birth me or my brother, etc. She is also a raging alcoholic that everyone seems to just sweep under the rug and pretend it does not exist. If she were to die, yes, it will be heart-wrenching and I will be inconsolable, but a part of me will be glad she is dead. She had open heart surgery this time last year, and although I was worried the whole time that I was going to lose my mother, a part of me wanted her to not come out of that surgery room. The reason this would destroy my life if it got out, is because I would be completely disowned by my whole family and her friends if it got out. To the point of I would have to move out of state to be able to start life anew. Because my mom knows everyone in this town I currently live in and she could easily get me fired from any job just because of who she knows. And she also, as of right now, I am changing this week, she has control of my bank account due to her creating it for me when I was 15. She has control over every facet of my life, and she could fuck me hard if my wish for her to die ever got out. Throw away for obvious reasons. I hit a smallish lottery, a few mil, a little while back and told absolutely no one, family and friends included. I took a bunch of steps to secure my kids' futures and we live a very comfortable but not lavish life. I'm pretty generous with the people around me. I think that they just think I'm doing very well career-wise, or something illegal under the table. I justify it by thinking that if this was general knowledge amongst friends and family it would ruin relationships. My priority needed to be my kids. Well, here goes. Well, when I was younger I had a friend, let's call her Amanda. Well, we were at a park and across the street there was a building planned for demolition. Anyway, the genius in me had a great idea to go in it and check it out. As we were exploring, the floor caved in, she fell down 2 stories and landed on some debris and was injured. While I caught myself on the first floor, she didn't make it past the first day in the hospital. I'm still haunted by the screams and the begging. Every year I have a little memorial to myself. I still blame myself for killing her. It doesn't get any easier as more time passes by. After this I slowly started to dull out feelings. Now I can't seem to care at all. It's caused me to try and kill myself multiple times, and every time I tell my friends they don't actually believe that I tried. They all ignore that and say to stop joking about that stuff, but they'll never know the truth. One day I hope she will forgive me. I know this is likely not to be seen, but if you were sexually abused as a child, please do not feel ashamed or that you are alone. There are an estimated 39 million adult survivors of child sexual abuse in the US alone. Although it never happened to me, it did happen to one of the best people that I know, and he decided to take a stand against it and not be ashamed any longer. Please visit his organization at https://speakyoursilence.org/. They are there to help any and everyone that reaches out for help regarding childhood sexual abuse. No one knows I have cancer, and I'm hoping it kills me. I was pooping when I started reading this thread on my phone. I got so invested in reading these that after 20 minutes of sitting on the toilet, my body took care of what it needed to. I pulled my pants up and proceeded to class. I just realized that I don't think I wiped. Edit, went back to the bathroom to check. Yup. Definitely forgot to wipe. Deleted. Deleted. I was molested by my grandfather from the age of 8 to 11 or 12. I had to go there after school every day to be babysat until my parents were done work. I told my mom after about 6 months or so. Her response was, "Don't tell your dad, it would really hurt him, he was my paternal grandfather." I gave up trying to tell anyone else for about a year, and then I told my cousin, who is 4 years older than I am. Her response was anger, and asking me how I could dare to speak out against our grandfather that way. Fast forward to when I was 16. Grandfather had a stroke and was in hospital with pneumonia. Was in his hospital bed with oxygen mask on. The whole family, aunts, uncles, etc., went to see him for some reason that I don't recall, and we were all visiting and hanging out. My uncle was in the hall with my little cousin, and at one point called everyone to come see because she was starting to take her first steps. So everyone gathered in the doorway facing out, or in the hall, and I was left sitting beside my grandfather's bed in a chair. He started coughing. I leaned over and took his oxygen mask off. It was so surreal. He was gasping, and my heart was pounding. I was waiting for someone to turn around and see, or hear him, but they were all intent on watching my little cousin, and they were all being so loud. It only took a couple minutes. It felt like hours. I put the mask back on him when I knew he had passed. I waited a couple minutes, and then yelled for my dad to come in because Grandpa looked weird. I remember my face was burning hot, thinking holy fuck, they have to know, someone is going to know. No one knows. Being a Saudi atheist, I actually might get executed if this goes out. Deleted. Throw away. I am a judge in a town in the US and a partner in a law firm. I also have a bit of a fetish. I tell my co-workers, assistants and family that I go up to my cabin most weekends, and that they can't contact me because there's no service, and that's how I like it. Stresses of the jobs, I love to hike, etc. In actuality I see a mistress 20 years my younger. She puts me into all sorts of predicaments, including intense bondage and sensory deprivation for 12 to 16 hours, uses my body to let her other clients enjoy me, teases and tortures me, and in general uses me for anything she wants that involves bondage/BDSM. And I love it. I have a college-aged daughter and an ex-husband, and have a fair share of cash lying around. If anyone knew, it would probably make some waves. TL, drive, weekday judge, weekend lesbian sex toy. Deleted. Every single day I think about killing myself, how great it would be, all my problems gone in an instant. Now, I am in therapy for depression, but I don't share those thoughts for fear of being institutionalized, even briefly, as a danger to myself. I don't think I'm a danger to myself. I've had those thoughts for quite a while without swallowing pills or a shotgun, so. Deleted. Well damn, now that some dude bangs his dog I don't feel so bad about me and my cousin knocking boots every time we're in town together. My twin sister and I love each other. We love each other more than siblings should. I'm sure the incest would disgust a lot of people, and that alone would ruin a lot of relationships. Our parents and grandparents would probably disown and disinherit us. Other family would probably break off contact, and we'd lose a good chunk of our friends. I imagine news would spread like wildfire amongst our social circle. Our older sister might be the only person in our family who wouldn't outright condemn us, and I'm not even too sure about that. Sometimes we think about running away to Europe or something, so we can start new lives with fake identities. Edit, since so many people are asking, we're fraternal twins, and I'm a male. Removed. I failed out of college and didn't tell anyone. I lied about still being in school and pretended to go to classes. My parents still thought they were paying for my college. That is the worst part of this whole thing. I wasted 6 months and a good $5,000, if not more. Edit, thanks everyone for your responses. It's good to know that I'm not the only one who has messed up. Smile. In response to a lot of questions, my parents found out about everything when my mom was trying to get my health insurance taken care of, and the insurance said that I wasn't enrolled in school. This was 5 years ago. I have since paid my parents back for the money they spent, went to community college, transferred to a 4-year, and am now about to graduate with my BS. Deleted. How I really feel about myself. It would lead to both people being driven away from me, and people sympathizing/empathizing for me. I would hate the people who stayed with me, probably yell at them, drive them away. Then I would be alone, and have nothing to live for. So, for now, I put on my facade and move on. Removed. Removed. I can't stop myself from lying. Half the time I lie about things that don't matter and should have just told the truth for, but I can't stop myself from doing it. All the lies I've told, big and small, all catch up to at one point or another and are seriously damaging my life. My parents and brother don't trust me at all anymore because I've done some incredibly stupid things and lied about them. I've also had to do things or tell bigger lies to cover what started out as a little white lie. Other people around me that have caught me in a lie don't know how to act around me anymore. I know I need to stop, and I am trying, but the more I try to stop doing it, the more I do it. This is slowly destroying my life and my relationship with my family, and there is nothing I can about it.